Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to explore a story that begins with a problem, one that affects every corner of the globe, touches every life, and threatens the health of our environment and even our bodies. That problem is plastic waste. For decades, plastics have been celebrated for their convenience, flexibility, and low cost. But the flip side of that convenience has been a silent, creeping crisis. Plastic doesn't disappear. It accumulates. It floats in our oceans. It piles up in landfills. And now, it has crossed a line we never expected. Recently, scientists discovered microplastics in human organs. And for the first time ever, plastic has been found in human blood. This isn't just an environmental issue anymore. It's a human health issue. And while many people continue to ignore this growing problem, a breakthrough discovery and a dose of artificial intelligence might just provide the beginnings of a solution. Let's step back and look at the scale. One of the most common types of plastic is called PET, short for polyethylene terephthalate. You've seen it. You've used it. It's in water bottles, food containers, clothing, packaging. PET accounts for about 12% of global solid waste. Currently, we produce around 50 million tons of PET every year, and that number is expected to double to 100 million tons by 2025. That's just one type of plastic. The challenge is not just usage, it's recycling. PET is notoriously hard to recycle. Once it enters a landfill, it can remain there for centuries. Traditional recycling methods are energy-intensive, inefficient, and often result in downcycled products, lower quality materials with limited use. We're producing more plastic than we can ever hope to recycle conventionally. Something has to change, and something did. In 2016, a group of Japanese scientists went digging, not in nature, but in the unlikeliest of places, the debris of a plastic bottle recycling plant. Their goal? To find a microbe, a living organism, that could break down PET plastic. They collected samples and brought them back to their lab. What they discovered was nothing short of extraordinary: a bacterium named Ideonella sakaiensis. This microorganism didn't just survive among plastic, it thrived. It had developed the ability to eat plastic. More specifically, it produced two enzymes that could break down PET into its monomer components, the basic chemical building blocks, such as ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. This meant the plastic wasn't just destroyed, it was deconstructed. The components could then be reused to make new plastic, creating the possibility of a true circular recycling system. No toxic byproducts, no harmful emissions, just natural decomposition and regeneration. But, as promising as this sounds, there was a catch. The problem was, the enzymes worked only under specific lab conditions. In the wild, they were too delicate. If the temperature was too low or the pH was off, they became inactive. The process was slow and unstable, far from practical for industrial-scale recycling. The potential was there, but to unlock it, the enzymes needed to be enhanced, redesigned. That's where a new player entered the scene: artificial intelligence. In May 2022, researchers from the University of Texas at Austin introduced an innovative solution. They built a machine learning model called MutCompute, a neural network trained to optimize enzymes. Think of it like this. Enzymes are made up of amino acids, which link together in chains to form proteins. Just like a sentence made of words, the structure and order of those amino acids determine how the enzyme folds and whether it works well or not at all. MutCompute studied 19,000 protein structures to learn what makes an enzyme stable and efficient. Then, it analyzed each of the 290 amino acids in the PET-eating enzyme, one by one. When it found an amino acid that didn't fit well in its environment, it suggested a better alternative. Out of millions of possible combinations, the AI narrowed it down to 3 key mutations. And those 3 small changes made a huge difference. The new AI-designed enzyme was dramatically more efficient. It could break down an entire plastic tray in just 48 hours, more than twice as fast as any previous method. It also worked at lower temperatures, making it far more practical for real-world applications. The team tested the enzyme on 51 different plastic products, including bottles, containers, and food packaging. The enzyme broke them down almost completely in less than a week. And here's the best part. The team was able to recover 94.9% of the original material, which could be recycled into new plastic, with far less energy consumption than traditional methods. This isn't just a lab experiment anymore. It's a potential industry-shifting technology. Experts around the world are taking notice. Dr. Sarah Kakadelis from Imperial College London called it a drastic improvement over previous enzymes. She emphasized the specificity of enzymes, how they can target certain types of waste much more effectively than chemical methods. And here's a critical point. Because the plastic is broken down by an enzyme, not a living bacterium, there's no risk of the organism reproducing uncontrollably in the environment. It's clean, contained, and safe. Of course, challenges remain. We're still in the early stages. The bacterium was only discovered in 2016, and this AI-assisted version was introduced just a few years ago. But the progress is rapid. AI is accelerating biology in ways we could never have imagined before. This story shows that AI isn't just about chatbots or driverless cars, it's about solving real physical problems that impact the planet. In the end, the plastic waste crisis is a reflection of something much deeper. How our innovations, while groundbreaking, can also come with unintended consequences. For decades, we focused on convenience, mass production, and profit. Plastics symbolize progress. But now that very progress is overwhelming our planet and threatening our health. Yet stories like this give us something vital: hope. The discovery of a plastic-eating bacterium was already remarkable. But what truly elevates this story is how human creativity, biology, and artificial intelligence came together to solve a problem that, until recently, felt insurmountable. We're not talking about a theory or science fiction. This is happening now. AI took a fragile, unstable enzyme and transformed it into a powerful tool, one that could soon help us recycle plastic faster, more efficiently, and with less harm to the environment than ever before. And it's just one example. This is a glimpse of a larger future, where machine learning doesn't just help us automate or analyze, but helps us heal the damage we've done, restore balance to ecosystems, and rethink how we coexist with the materials we create. So as we face one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time, we should remember this: solutions are out there. Sometimes they come from a speck of bacteria, sometimes from the code of an algorithm, and often from the intersection of both. Thank you.